So how can you strengthen your competitive strategy? In my previous 5-minute growth tip article, I wrote about how mid-sized companies can make more progress at implementing the processes and systems that will enable them to grow and grow profitably. But is it really progress if you're not going in the right direction? And how do you know if you are going in the right direction? While various types of processes and systems are needed to grow beyond a company's current level, some types of systems will need to be chosen and tailored specifically for that unique business and to support and execute its strategy in the market. So developing a clear strategy is not only important to making the right progress, it's also important for ensuring a company is pursuing truly valuable growth opportunities. In this brief video, I'm going to cover the basics of clarifying and strengthening your strategy. From there, other tools and practices can be used to refine the strategy and make it more robust over time. So there's a misconception about strategy. First, let's recognize what strategy is not. As Jack Welch once put it, strategy is not a lengthy action plan. It's the evolution of a central idea through continually changing circumstances. A list of projects, priorities, or action items is not strategy. That's an execution plan. And so what is this central idea that Jack speaks of? I've been facilitating strategy development for almost 20 years. And in all that time, the simplest, most accurate description of strategy I've come across is from Michael Porter, the renowned Harvard Business School professor, researcher, and consultant. In his best-selling book, Competitive Advantage, Porter describes strategy succinctly as a unique and valuable position in the market that involves a different set of activities from competitors. So your unique and valuable position in the market is this central idea that Jack Welch talks about. And it needs to continually evolve to respond to changing circumstances. It describes the essence of the business you and your leadership team want to build. Your execution plan is how you'll build it. Thinking of strategy as what needs to be done rather than a vision for the business you're building results in directionless busyness. Imagine building a house with no clear blueprints. How confusing would that be? It's the same with a company. And it's about being more than unique. Let's look at what Porter calls a position in the market. Put simply, this is about how your offering compares to competitors who offer the same or similar products or services. In the Scaling Up system in the 7 attributes of agile growth, we use the term differentiation. For most business leaders like myself, it's been drilled into our heads that our business needs to be unique. Porter confirms that this is important for positioning. But why? To create customer loyalty. If our customers can only get our unique twist on a product or service from us, and they can't get it from our competitors, they'll keep coming back. Hence the more traditional terms used for differentiation, including unique value proposition, unique selling proposition, unique offer, competitive advantage. They all essentially mean the same thing, a brief statement that describes how our product or service is or will be unique from our competitors. One example is Southwest Airlines. While they provide air travel services like so many other airlines, they have clear differentiation, which is captured in their brand promise, which is low fares, lots of flights, and lots of fun. This is unique in the American airline business. Yet Porter's definition means our differentiation needs to be more than just unique. It also has to be valuable. And valuable to who? Customers. So with this, we have to get focused. It can be tricky because what's valuable to one type of customer is not necessarily valuable to another. To make our differentiation valuable to a customer, we first need to know who that customer is. Once we're clear on who that customer is, we can define our differentiation and then design our different set of activities, as Porter puts it, to consistently deliver that unique positioning. Note that if we're to do things differently than competitors to deliver on our differentiation for a specific type of customer, the number of different types of customers we serve has to be pretty small, because doing things in a number of unique ways that are each valuable to different types of customers becomes truly unprofitable, if not impossible, without sufficient scale. So for many companies, especially mid-sized companies, that often means focusing on one type of customer. We call them our core customer. So how do we identify our core customer? We examine our best customers, the ones who are the most profitable, the most loyal, the most likely to refer, the ones who pay on time. Those are our core customer. In addition to knowing who our core customer is, we have to know what our core customer needs. This enables us to then define differentiation that will be valuable to them. Without understanding our core customer's needs, we're just guessing about that. With clarity about who our core customer is and what they need, and what differentiation would then be valuable to them, we also want to make sure we can deliver on that differentiation. Maybe we aren't fully set up right now to deliver on, but we need to examine if we can get there. Regardless of our differentiation, those unique activities needed to deliver it need to be doable. If not, when we market our offering based on that differentiation, we'll be making a promise to customers that we just can't keep. And customers will just be disappointed. They'll become less loyal rather than more loyal over time. We also want to look at our sandbox. The sandbox defines what specific products or services we're going to offer, where we're going to sell them, and through who. Is it through direct sales, online, through distributors, affiliates, retail? The sandbox framework encourages us to proactively think through where our focus for growth needs to be over the next 3 to 5 years. It also encourages focus by proactively deciding to avoid certain products, geographies, and distribution channels that will distract us from the ones we should be focused on. We may even choose to discontinue some that we have right now. Choosing our sandbox involves not just understanding or estimating what products, geographies, and distribution channels will provide the greatest opportunities for growth and profitability. It's also about determining these what, where, and through who decisions in a way that aligns with our core customer and our differentiation. So Southwest Airlines, for example, has determined that offering a first-class service would not fit as their what. It would take away from their lots of fun promise by treating some customers more lavishly than others. It would also increase complexity, which would lengthen ground time, reduce the number of flights per day, and therefore hamper their lots of flights promise. It would also therefore increase their costs and affect their low fares promise. So how do we make this work? The 3 basic elements of a successful competitive strategy include, number 1, identifying our core customers' characteristics and true needs. Number 2, defining differentiation that's valuable to our core customer and checking that it's feasible. And 3, setting our sandbox to focus on the right products or services, geographies, and distribution channels that align with our core customer and differentiation and provide opportunities for growth and profitability. This basic strategy work will be most successful when it's aligned with 4 foundational pieces. First, our core purpose, or our why, as Simon Sinek calls it, the difference we want to make in the world beyond creating jobs and profit. Also needs to be aligned with our vision, or our big, hairy, audacious goal, our BHAG, as Jim Collins puts it. This is a 10 to 30 year company goal that is bold, but it stimulates innovation and progress. And it needs to be aligned with number 3, our 3-year strategic targets, including our financial and non-financial targets, and our 3-year highly achievable goal, or 3HAG, as Shannon Burns-Susko calls it, that defines what we want the company to look like 3 years from now as a stepping stone to our 10 to 30 year BHAG. And in our basic strategy work also needs to be aligned with an awareness and understanding of the trends unfolding in our market and in the world. And let's remember, As CEOs, we're best off developing our strategy collaboratively with our leadership team in order to achieve that efficient leadership team buy-in and in a way that supports accountability for execution, as I discussed in my previous article. From there, we can develop our 1 year and our quarterly execution plan to bring our strategy to life. And if we have the right leadership team members and the right culture, we can execute it with efficiency and predictability. And with the right leadership team members and culture, we are also much more likely to develop a great strategy with that team in the first place. More about that in my next 5-minute growth tip video. So how can you improve your strategy? If you want to find out what you can do to improve your competitive strategy and grow more easily, quickly, and profitably and enjoy the ride, try our complimentary Agile Growth Checklist. It'll give you some tips. This self-service questionnaire takes 5 to 10 minutes to complete. You'll receive the checklist with your responses immediately. Within 24 hours, you'll receive a compiled report highlighting areas to improve. If you complete sections 3 and 6, you can check specifically on your competitive strategy. Or if you complete all 7 sections, you'll find out how your company is doing in each of the areas needed to produce more rapid, profitable, and sustainable growth. This report is completely complimentary and involves no obligation. Just click on the button below.